Welcome back to Newsday. Well, joining us now is ALABI OPEYEMI, who is the initiator of the Defend Lagos protest. Thank you so much, ALABI, for joining us on Newsday.
Yes, ma'am. It's an honor being here.
Good. Let me begin by asking you, is there any basis for the protest you are calling for? And what will be the reasons behind those bases?
Actually, the basis behind the Defend Lagos protest is the destruction in which occurred during the NSAS protest, which affected a lot of government properties, private infrastructures, public infrastructures, financial institutions, and some media establishments. The main purpose is not to allow such thing to actually happen again. And indirectly, we are trying to hold the government responsible for trying for letting the previous NSAS protester to have the chances to mix with maybe some kind of hoodlums, as they say, to destroy Lagos.
Okay, ALABI, don't you appreciate that what you're saying is your objective is actually the role of the security forces? They're the ones, if anyone, that should be charged with separating the hoodlums from the true protesters, and that your being present is actually making normal citizens feel that there is a tendency that there will be a clash.
No. There's not going to be any kind of clash, actually. I think people are misunderstanding the statement, Defend Lagos. They thought probably maybe we are coming with some kind of forces. They thought probably maybe we are coming with some kind of, what should I call it, some kind of subconscious mind to come and destroy some things. Actually, we are coming out not to come and clash with anyone. The way the NSAS protesters have their right to protest is the same way we, the Defend Lagos, has our own right to protest. And mainly coming out, our main objectives is to come out and protest, to tell these people that, see, we don't have problem with you protesting. Our main...
All right. We were discussing with Dele Farotimi. I was reading an article, and I am just wondering why, in the first instance, you would describe someone else who has the right to protest a hoodlum. And then Dele Farotimi said, some of the things you people said is, now your papa, they not born your papa well. I mean, this is a pidgin. Your father was not born well. One is wondering, why such language? Is it necessary? I mean, that's like stoking the embers of mayhem, of clashing, of trouble.
I think one of the mistakes you people, especially the media outfit, do make is you guys go on Twitter, you go on social media and pick some point there and you try and put it on some kind of organization. The slang you just said now is not, we are not the initiator of those slang. What you just did is you went on Twitter and pick it and saying probably we are the one that did it. We don't know anything about they don't boy your papa well. It's just a normal thing trending on social media.
Point of correction, that was not us. My colleague was asking you to respond to what Dele Farotimi said, who was the speaker before you, and that was what he said, so that did not come from us. But let me ask you, nobody, well, I think majority of us do not want to see Lagos burned or destroyed because it is our collective taxpayers' money that builds Lagos, and it tons of loans collected by the government. So it would be unfathomable that anybody would want to say destroyed. But let me bring to your attention what happened in the Obalende area of Lagos this morning. A factional group of the NURTW, I'm sure you know them, the transport union in Nigeria. Well, in Lagos, Obalende this morning, there was mayhem and pandemonium because factional groups clash. Your group is Defend Lagos. And I'm wondering, you missed the opportunity this morning to defend Obalende area of Lagos. This is not the first time this is happening. It happens across the country and across the state. Would it be a fair rhetoric for you to say it was the NSAS protesters that caused the destruction in Lagos during those protests? Don't you think you are losing focus from the real groups, such as what we have seen in Obalende this morning and other areas of Lagos, for you to defend the state?
The thing is that we are not blaming any type of protest group organization for the violence that was caused. Actually, we're just trying to hold them responsible, because if you can organize a protest and hoodlums and other social vices kind of people can come into you guys and make some destructions, that means you guys are not coordinated. We want a coordinated protest. If you want to make any kind of protest, let it be coordinated. I'm going to make reference to what happened in USA when their capital was invaded. The second they did all their necessary things in their power and resources to make sure that that kind of things did not happen again. See, if you are involved in a protest whereby you cannot handle it, there's no reason for you doing another one again. If you know that you can't coordinate yourself, and if you know that you cannot coordinate yourself, there's no reason for you coming back again and doing that type of protest when people are yet to recover from the previous one you did.
Alabi, I think you're mixing issues here. The responsibility is not for the protesters to ensure that the protest is peaceful. It's for the security forces. And then I want to put the same allegation you're making towards the protesters to you. Okay. You said them no born your papa well didn't come from you. I'm coming. Let me go to where I'm going. Okay. You said just recently that the tweet, them no born your papa well, did not come from you, meaning that there were some divisive forces that infiltrated your movement. Why do you think they wouldn't do the same on the day? So the same allegation you're making towards the protesters applies to you as well.
We don't have social media regulation, so definitely things like that can happen. So, but we have our own plans and arrangement to make sure that that kind of thing will not happen when we are doing it on the 13th of February.
Okay, good. Pardon me, I seem to have forgotten your name there. Alabi? I think Alabi, yes. Okay, now let's look at it this way. I think it's the NSAS protesters. They want to do it on Saturday the 13th. You want to do this on Saturday the 13th. Have you considered the implications that there could be a clash between both camps? I mean, why couldn't it be done on different days?
Well, you have a good point there, but the reason why we are not considering any type of implication is because we have no intention of having clashes with anyone. So we are going there with a white man, a clean mind. So since we are not having any plans to attack anyone, so definitely we don't expect them to attack us.
It could just be a fallout. I mean, when you have opposing camps who are extremely divided, you can't rule that out.
Yes, there's some kind of probability like that, but we are well coordinated. We are well coordinated. I believe such things will not happen.
Okay, and just to clarify, because you confused me a bit there, you do not blame the NSAS protesters for the destruction that happened in Lagos, but you think that this time around their protests may lead to more destruction. Where exactly do you stand? Are you blaming the NSAS protesters for the destruction that happened in Lagos?
No, I'm not blaming them. Just kind of holding them responsible for not coordinating the protest. We cannot during the NSAS protest. There's no way where we can identify hoodlums different from the protesters. I think that is all where they got it wrong. There should be some kind of uniformity in their midst. But unfortunately, we don't really know who is protesting and who the hoodlums is. All of them just mix together, and that is one of the reasons that caused the destructions in Lagos, not just in Lagos, all over Nigeria. Because destruction have even started before on the 20th of October.
All right, I think we will leave it here. We just hope that things work out fine and that the security agencies do their bit and that on both sides you will behave and not have a clash.